Well, we're getting 2 more Knights of the Old Republic characters, and I gotta say, I'm pretty excited about Juhani, and then to a lesser extent, Carth Onasi. Carth Onasi looks like is gonna be some sort of filler character required for some sort of legendary character. Now, I've gone and looked at the Wikipedia because I'm not familiar with the lore, and from what I'm seeing, this means 100% we're gonna be getting Darth Malak and also a Darth Revan. How that'll play out remains to be seen, but Juhani looks important and most likely will be viable in the current Jedi Knight Revan lineup, and pretty excited about the kit. Now, we have gameplay footage here that was provided directly by EA, so I have not had a chance to play the characters at all, but just by reading the kit, I am pretty excited that she should be viable in a dual tank lineup with General Kenobi and Juhani. So let's just read the kit. Alignment light, light side, Jedi tank, Old Republic. And the reason why this is important is if we take a look at Jedi Knight Revan's leadership ability, basically there's a 5% crit chance, 5% offense, 5 speed for each Jedi and Old Republic ally. So that's going to add 5 speed to the entire team because the tag will count twice. And that's why a lot of people are using Jolee and Bastila together to get the most speed out of the team, because if you're playing mirror match with Revan, it becomes like who has the fastest Revan, and becomes quite a crazy matchup actually. Abilities: basic, Raging Strike. Deal physical damage to target enemy. This attack deals 10% more damage for each debuffed enemy. That's great, but there's not a lot of debuffs on the other side. Special one, Boastful Provocation. Final text: dispel all debuffs on Jedi and Old Republic allies. Then Juhani gains taunt for 4 turns and stuns the target enemy for 1 turn, which can't be evaded. Now, this taunt right here doesn't seem that great because it's not an auto taunt. It doesn't pop up randomly all the time, kind of like Cyan and General Kenobi. This would be really easy to dispel, or if she has buff immunity, I don't think that very good, but it does look like she's going to be very resilient with her unique abilities. I really want to play these. Hopefully we get the test counts back soon so we can test them out, but for right now, not so much. Special number 2, Remorseful Deal physical damage to all enemies. For each critically hit, Juhani recovers 10% health and protection. Boy, this is going to be fun, especially if Hermit Yoda's on the team. If Juhani is stealth when this ability is used, stagger each enemy for 2 turns, which I think will be very useful because stagger is a great mechanic that actually works pretty well against Traya. If Traya's on the other team, turn meter removal is one of the few negative status effects, if you will, that are actually work against Traya because they self-cleanse, and if you can take that stagger and knock down their turn meter before they take a turn and cleanse, that's great. Now let's take a look at these uniques, because this is where I think she shines, and this is a Zeta ability, Cathar Resilience. Juhani recovers 20% of her max health at the beginning of each of her turns. That's great. While taunting, Juhani has 35% counter chance. Now this is the part that I really like. When Juhani drops below 100% health, she recovers 5% protection for each active Jedi or Old Republic ally, then gains offense up, health steal up, and stealth for 2 turns. If Juhani is taunting when this condition is met, she loses taunt. Oh boy. And then if she has stealth, her middle ability will issue out stagger. So I think she's going to be very hard to kill, but she's not going to be really taunting that much. I really wish she had some sort of way of auto-taunting, kind of like how General Kenobi has or Cyan. Even old Ben has a way of keeping the taunt for 1 more extra turn because it pops back up. So I don't know if a lot of damage is going to go her way, because really on a Jedi Knight Revan team, the idea is you want to protect Jolee, and you also want to protect Yoda or Revan. And so that's the team that they're suggesting will be very good, is going to be Revan, both Yodas, and then 2 tanks. Personally, right now, I'm running 2 tanks, and I think she would be better than running Old Ben. I hear from the Revan players that playing against 2 tanks is quite tricky, especially if you're playing with Traya. Revan leaders, actually, Jolie is a bigger mess. But anyways, we'll have to see what could be the optimal lineup, but I do think because she is Old Republic and Jedi, she's going to see play in the current arena. Okay, now we have to look at Carth Onasi, and, jury's out on this character. I don't know if this character has a place currently in the meta or territory wars or anything really right now. I would have to test it out to see, but right now, just by looking at the kit and the footage that was provided, to me, this just looks like a marquee character that's filler for some sort of legendary event in the future. And if I were going to predict, I would think that would be in February. February has typically been Sith month, and I could see Darth Revan and or Darth Malak coming. Maybe Malak will come now or next month, and then we'll get Revan in February. I'm not really sure. Carth Onasi, light side, Old Republic attacker, and he has a leadership ability, which is actually seems like it'll be a lot of fun. There might be some huge theory crafty opportunities here with Carth. His basic rapid shot, deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict a damage over time effect for 2 turns. This attack deals 10% more damage for each damage over time effect on that enemy. And boy, that makes me think about Darth Vader lead here right now also. But he has a really good leadership ability, so maybe there's going to be an entire Old Republic team that'll be the best. Like I said, I would love to test this stuff out. Special 1, just keep shooting. Deal physical damage to all enemies and gain offense up for 2 turns for each critical attack. This scores. Carth gains 15% turn meter. Wow. So he might be going back to back. This looks like a very simple kit. Just keep shooting, and he's probably going to just go right after that. 15% times 5 means he's going to have a lot of turn meter right after using this ability if he's modded with a lot of critical chance. Leader ability, and I like this leader ability. It seems very interesting. Soldier of the Old Republic, and this has a cooldown of 3. That doesn't make any sense. Final text. Old Republic allies gain 30% potency, tenacity, and critical avoidance. Whenever an enemy is inflicted with a damage over time effect, all Old Republic allies recover 3% health and protection. When an Old Republic ally uses their basic ability during their turn, they have an 80% chance to call another Old Republic ally to assist, dealing 50% less damage, and a limit once per turn. And that seems like it should be a lot of fun with Zalbar and Mission. Oof, we're going to get a lot of extra attacks right there. Tons of damage over time. Boy, this seems really interesting. And then his unique ability, Soldier Training, and this is a Zeta ability. While attacking, Carth gains 10% offense for each active enemy and Old Republic ally. Whenever Carth defeats an enemy, he gains 10% critical chance and critical damage stacking. And the cooldown of just keep shooting is reset. And that's pretty cool because that just keep shooting gets turn meter that synergizes with the stacking critical chance and critical damage. So lots of interesting stuff. I do like these characters. I want to play them. Hopefully we'll get test accounts. But all of this really suggests to me that we're going to be getting Revan and Malak. And if I were to guess, I think Malak would have to be some sort of super marquee character, maybe like Jango Fett. I don't know if they would make both of them legendary, but this storyline, and I've been reading it up, with Darkseid, Bastila, and how Revan goes back and forth, and even Juhani had a brief period where she went to the dark side. I really hope that Disney does something with this storyline, whether it's a TV show or a new video game or a remake of Knights of the Old Republic or maybe even a movie. I think a Knights of the Old Republic movie would be great because the more I've read up on this, I really like the story and especially how everybody bounces back and forth between the light and the dark side and then the conflict. It's quite compelling. I could see why they're putting it into the game. After I've read it on Wikipedia, I was like, oh yeah, this is good stuff. All right, guys, well, let me know what you think of all this stuff. If you're huge Knights of the Old Republic fans, I'm sure you're thrilled. But for me, I was kind of hoping for more clones this month. I thought it was supposed to be clone months. I was expecting some sort of droid rework, Grievous, or clones, something like that. And I guess we're just going to have almost like a whole year of Knights of the Old Republic. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.